Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Thursday episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. And yes, I've been buying the dip. I hope you've been buying the dip too. But what if? What if you've been buying the dip and the dip keeps dipping? What can you do? Let's say you're tapped out on funds. You don't have any more to buy the dip. You are out of what they call dry powder. What are some things you can do to generate some revenue, to generate some liquidity, so that you can stack the next dip, stack harder? Okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit during the why we stack segment of the show. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Let's get things cracking with the first segment of the show that we like to call the Bitcoin Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $84,179.14. And you can get 1,187 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. If you can accumulate 100 million Satoshis, you in essence have a whole dollar. Why is that important? Well, because when you see the price of Bitcoin, you might be thinking to yourself, damn, it's too expensive. I am priced out. There's no way I can afford a Bitcoin. And it's probably right. You probably can't afford a Bitcoin all at once, but you can still buy fractions of a Bitcoin, and those fractions of a Bitcoin, those Satoshis, have the same qualities, the same properties of an actual full Bitcoin. It's, in essence, it is Bitcoin. Okay, just like a penny or a 1 cent is US dollars, right? It's just a fraction of a US dollar. A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, so it's still Bitcoin. It's still BTC, and we DCA to BTC. Hard Hollow in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Hard Hollow, DCA to BTC. That is what we do. That is what we do. But what happens when you're out of D? When you're out of dollars, what do? We'll talk about that in the next segment, so stay tuned. That is the Bitcoin Strength. DCA to BTC indeed, says Carlos Aramillo. Round of applause from our live studio audience for Carlos. Choo! All right, so let's phase out the song here. Oops. I tried to turn off the music and I just ended up hitting the round of applause again. All right. So let's get into the next segment of the show so we can talk about the main topic for today's episode, which is what to do when the dip keeps dipping and you're out of dry powder. You're out of cash on hand to stack harder. These are the things you can do. Okay, let's talk about that. Why we stack, or in other words, how to keep stacking. All right, why we stack, we save in Bitcoin because we know that this big avalanche of money printing is coming. $20 trillion in increase to the national debt within 10 years, or in about 10 years. So going from $35 trillion in debt to $55 trillion in debt, it's going to dilute the value of your savings by about 40% if the debt only goes up 20 trillion. But based on how they're spending, it's probably going to be worse. Okay, so what can you do? Why do we save? Why do we save in Bitcoin? Why do we stack? Because when you save in Bitcoin, it takes the value of your savings outside of the money system that's being used to steal from you via a process called inflation. If you take your money and you save it into Bitcoin, the value that your money represents, convert it to Bitcoin. Since Bitcoin is a fixed supply of 21 million and it cannot be inflated, it holds its value. Plus, as the supply of dollars or whatever your local currency is, as that supply increases, it takes more and more of those weaker currencies to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. So you, in essence, not only retain your value, but you grow your purchasing power against your local money. Okay, so as you'll be able to see later on during the stack recap segment, I'll show you guys. Even though Bitcoin's been down for the year so far, since we started saving about almost 2 years ago, the value of our overall savings is still more than we could do with pretty much any other asset class. Okay. All right. So that said, let's talk about, and feel free to share in the chat with ways you might that I missed that you can potentially stack more Bitcoin. Is one of the things I like to do is I like to go through the stuff in my house and see what I haven't used in like a couple months, 3 or 4 months, maybe even a year. If you want to do that, something that you have in your house and you haven't used in a whole year, right? It could be like, I don't know, like a bicycle or a skateboard, an extra car, a kayak, a motorcycle, something that you haven't used, that hasn't served you in the past year. Maybe it's time to get rid of that thing, right? And I don't mean like just throw it away. I mean, look for stuff that could hold some value, right? And look at it with laser eyes and look at it in a way that you can say to yourself, well, how many trapped Satoshis does this item represent? How many trapped Satoshis does this item represent? Can I get $100 for that bike that I haven't ridden in a year, right? Am I going to ride this bike and get healthy, or am I just going to let it sit in my garage and corrode away? Maybe I could get $100 out of it, right? Get $100 out of it. That's what? That's a good amount of Satoshis right there, right? So you can convert things around your place into Satoshis. No, that's going to generate money for you, right? I do that all the time. I have been trying to keep track of them here on the spreadsheet. We'll check those out a little bit later. Actually, let me bring it up, just so it serves as an example. Okay, we call this spreadsheet the reclaimed Bitcoin sheet. Okay, these are the things I've sold so far, and as soon as I sold them, I immediately converted the proceeds into Bitcoin at whatever price the Bitcoin was when I sold that thing, right? This GPU is in the negative, but whatever. I'm still holding the Bitcoin that I got from it. I'm still holding the 265,000 Satoshis, right? Yeah, just it's converting that thing that was taking up space in my garage that I wasn't using. This Pelican case, for example, I converted that into economic energy into $93, and then I converted those $93 worth of economic energy into Bitcoin. I converted it into 163,941 Satoshis. And at the time, it was $93 for that many Satoshis. But now, if I were to sell those Satoshis, I would get $138. So it increased in price for sure, right? Overall, I've sold about $883 worth of stuff. And that stuff, since it got converted to Bitcoin, it averages out to a $1,141 gain. Even though Bitcoin is down this year, I'm still up about 29% on the things I've sold and gotten the space back in my place, right? So anyway, that's a way for you to generate additional revenue, for you to be able to stack the dip of the dip. Okay? When I see a coupon for anything, I see money saved that I can be that's such a good one right there. Hard Huddle with the genius one right there too. When he sees a coupon, he sees it as a voucher for Satoshis, right? Because if you can save $10 on your groceries because all you did was hang on to that little coupon, and you save $5 on your $50 purchase, for example, or $10 on your $100 purchase, take those $5, take those $10 and stack them. Because if it wasn't for that little coupon, you would have had to spend that money anyway, consider it gone, right? You didn't really have to do that much work for that coupon. So it's free Bitcoin, guys. It's free Satoshis right there, right? That's like 5,000 Satoshis, 10,000 Satoshis right there. It's wild. 10,000 Satoshis, right? Imagine if the store, your local supermarket told you, Hey, we have a promotion going on. For every $50 you spend, we're going to give you 5,000 sats. How would that feel? Because that's exactly what you're getting. That's exactly what you're getting, right? So that's an excellent way to stack Card Huddle. It's an excellent way to make a little stack on the side. Okay. Another thing is audit yourself. Audit the stuff, the skills you know how to do, the things that you feel comfortable with, the expertise you might have, right? And when the student is ready, the master will appear. Maybe you'll become the master of something, right? Maybe you're really good at playing guitar, right? Or maybe you're not even really good. Maybe you're mediocre at playing guitar, but you know enough to be dangerous around the campfire, right? You know enough guitar to be dangerous around the campfire. You know your cowboy chords, and you know how to read tabs, for example, or you know how to teach somebody to maybe sing some of their favorite songs, right? And somebody that's new to guitar, it doesn't take that much to come up with a little lesson plan. Like, all right, I want you to learn these 3 or 4 chords, and I'll see you next week. Here, let me show you how to do them. You show them how to do the chords. They do the chords. You correct their finger position. You correct their strum or whatever. And then you're like, okay, practice that for the week. I'll see you next week, right? $20, $25, $50, whatever you can charge your student, right? But there's an extra $25, an extra $50 that you didn't have before that didn't take that much of your time, right? And then if the person comes back next week and they didn't practice, that's not your fault. You taught them what to practice and they didn't practice, they didn't put in the time, so they're going to come back and pay you to teach them the same thing again. Right? Sorry, but yeah. How can we move on to the next lesson plan when you still don't figure out those chords? Okay, figure out those chords this week. Let me correct your fingering on the fretboard. Adjust your position, how you're holding your guitar, blah blah blah. And I'll see you next week. Make sure you practice those 3 chords, because after you know and understand those 3 chords, we're gonna add two other chords. And next thing you know, you're building them up into a beginner guitar player, right? All right. So say you were really good at, I don't know, at soccer when you were a kid, or you played in college, or you had some kind of a formal training in soccer or like whatever, and you're really good at soccer drills or teaching new people how to understand soccer or whatever, or what to practice, what to drill. Maybe you could coach a young athlete to getting into how to get their skills up, how to get their how to put a little spin, a little English on that kick, on that ball, how to kick the ball, how to juggle the ball, how to juke out players, right? Proper technique so you don't get hurt, that kind of stuff. You come up with a lesson plan and put your sign up. Put your sign up. Private soccer coach, right? And maybe that's what you do, right? What else? Throw something else at me, guys. What else could you do? If you don't want to make it that complicated, you want most of it already done for you. You want to be able to just show up and do it, clock in and clock out. Maybe take up Uber. Maybe take up what's it called, the other one? Is it Uber and what's the other food delivery service? Anyway, you know what I mean. I'm out of cash. Koji, exactly what we're talking about, Koji. We're talking about, welcome by the way. Round of applause from a live studio audience for Koji Monster. We're talking about things we can do to continue to save and continue to generate revenue so that we can stack harder during the dips of the dips, when we're tapped out and we're out of funds until the next pay period. But we want to continue to stack the dip. There's things you can do instead of watching TV, instead of hanging out at home, instead of doing things that are not producing you cash. You can do certain things. Like the stuff we already talked about was selling stuff that you don't need in your house, in your garage, or whatever, and on your property that needs to go. Sell that and convert that into Satoshis, right? Hard Huddle was saying that for every coupon he sees Satoshis there, and it makes sense. It's like going to a supermarket and them telling you, hey, for every $50 you spend, I'm gonna give you a $5 coupon. Well, that's like them saying for every $50 you spend, I'm gonna give you 5,000 Satoshis. That's freaking awesome, right? Okay, maybe that's a little bit takes a little extra planning. It's a little not as direct as getting cash for something. But yeah, then we're talking about getting taking advantage of the skills you might have acquired throughout your life, things that you are good at that most average people are not good at, and they would want somebody to help them through that thing, whether it's coaching, advice, or even doing it for them, right? So there's a whole other opportunity there to generate revenue based on the stuff you already have, the knowledge you already have. But in order to figure that out, you have to figure out what you know how to do, what you enjoy doing, what you think you could do for others in a more efficient, better way than them learning how to do it themselves and trying to actually do it, right? You save them from the mistakes, you save them from having to learn how to do it, and you should be compensated for that, right? So those are some of the things we could look into. Also, what's it called? Turnkey things that make you extra cash would be like Uber Eats or like other Lyft, I guess it's called, or whatever. Either driving people or delivering food for people. That is also another way to generate money and revenue and economic energy that you can convert into Bitcoin while the dip is here and the sats are cheap, right? Another thing would be, what else? Let's see. Those have pretty quick turnarounds. You know, if you wanted to get crazy, right? You want to go for walks? Take a bag and a stick and look through trash cans and get yourself some aluminum cans, right? Hey, $20 worth of aluminum cans is $20 is 20,000 satoshis, right? $20 worth of aluminum cans is 20,000 satoshis, right? Maybe actually even more now at this point. It's like almost like 22,000 satoshis for some $20 of aluminum cans. How long will it take you to walk around town? Yeah. Maybe people think like, man, what happened to that guy? He's really fallen off. He's stooped to the levels of collecting cans for money. He must be really hurting. He must be broke, right? Nope. I just understand that a $40 or $20 DCA on a dip is worth a lot more than $20, right? Just it returning back to the regular high, which was like $108,000, from 84 to 108,000. That's like a 25% gain, right? So now instead of collecting $20 of cans, however long that takes you, right? And maybe you collect that same day you collected $35 because the price has gone up, right? The price of the Bitcoin you bought thanks to collecting those cans, right? So don't think that those things are beneath you, right? That's half of the equation is stay humble, right? Stay humble, stack sats. It's not gonna matter if if one of your friends sees you collecting cans and wonders like, what the heck's going on with this guy, right? Just be like, hey man, I'm just trying to stack harder. And be like, damn, it's like that. Be like, yep, it's like that. I'm just trying to stack as hard as possible, right? And they might even say to themselves, man, I knew he was serious about Bitcoin, but god damn, he's serious about Bitcoin. maybe I should look into it, because god damn, this guy's collecting cans to be able to stack a little extra stack while the dip is dipping. Shoot, that's gotta be inspirational for people that see you, once they realize what you're doing. What's another quick way to make cash? Another quick turnaround on cash. What can you sell? You can sell stuff, I guess. Anyway, skills. You can teach people stuff. You can do things for people. Yeah, it's the world is your oyster. There's a lot of things you can do to generate additional revenue to stack harder on the dips, on the dip that keeps on dipping. Okay. All right. That said, what do you think we're gonna hit next? Do you think we'll be back at 90K? Yeah, I'm gonna put a poll up, guys. Start a poll. What happens next? Question mark. What happens next? Back to 90K plus. All right. I'm starting a poll. Do you think we'll be back to 90K plus first or before we go any lower? Or do you think we're going to hit 70K before it goes back up? What we're going to hit first, 70K or 90K? 70K or 90K? Let me know in the chat. Just go ahead and vote on the poll. All right. That's good. So that is what segment are we on? Are we on the Why We Stack segment still? Okay, Why We Stack. The short version of Why We Stack. If I met you on the street and you're like, hey, all right, I saw your show, but I want you to tell me one more time, why should I be saving in Bitcoin? And you have 30 seconds to tell me. I will say, okay, start the clock. Go. We save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. Done. Done and done. Satwise Jenks in the house. Let's go. Round of applause for Satwise coming here to let us know. And I remember Satwise said that we're going to hit 77K. He said that like a month ago. Yeah, so you nailed it for sure. And I think so too. I think we are going to go see 70 in the 70K-ish, in the 70K zone. I wouldn't even be surprised if we hit like the last all-time high was 73 or whatever it was, or 70, right? But with that said, that's why we're talking today about what to do when the dip keeps dipping and you're fresh out of dry powder, right? We've gone through a lot of examples, a lot of ideas to help people get creative and generate additional revenue so they can continue to stack the dip. But here on the show, we're going to continue to stack the dip, and let's talk about the next segment. All right, here we go. It's time for the stack recap, because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually stack here daily, like I said, Monday through Friday. And today, for the year of 2025, we are down 13.28% of our savings. We've saved $11,460 into Bitcoin and accumulated 1.5 million Satoshis. Today, those 1.5 million Satoshis are only worth $1,266. We are down. We are down hard. Bitcoin is going to zero. Sell your Bitcoin immediately so that I can buy it. Just kidding. Don't sell your Bitcoin. Diamond hands. Diamond hands, baby. All right. That's not why it says, I've been 100% in for years. The downside is not having any powder for dips. Yeah, exactly. Is there anything you do, Satwise? Any ideas on what you could do to generate additional revenue during these dips? We kind of went over like Uber driving, delivering food, collecting cans, doing services for others of like things that you know how to do, like a skill set, like teach somebody how to play guitar, teach somebody how to do something that's difficult to do or understand, or teach them or do it for them for revenue, of course. Sell everything, even the dog and the wife. Let's go. Let's go. Satwise gets it. All right. So today the price of Bitcoin is $84,085.03. Our average buy price for 2025 is $98,193 Bitcoin. So today, just like yesterday and the day before yesterday and the day before yesterday and the day before that, for the fourth day in a row, we're going to be doing a quadruple stack. Jeez, a quadruple stack. Bro, Carlos is right, dude. Carlos is right. Buy with a credit card and split it into 60 payments so you can keep stacking with the real money, and take on the debt, because you'll be able to pay back that debt with future less potent money, because the debt is denominated in dollars and not in Bitcoin. Good call. Not financial advice, just ideas for you to explore and think about and analyze for your own and make your own decisions. But, oops, 227/25. So like I said, today, we're down to 13.3. We're down 13.31% for the year. For last year, we're down to only 40% gain. And for the lifespan of the show, for the 21 months that we've been saving in Bitcoin here on the show, we're still up 67%. Let's go. All right. So the holding as of today is 0.3385155257 0.83385157 Bitcoin. And like I said today, since we are below the average below the lowest purchase we've ever made in 2025, today we're going to do a quadruple stack. Once again, that's $80 worth of Bitcoin. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin, baby. All right, we're back. Going to hit the Strike app in the face. Punch the Strike app in the face. Bam. Striking it up. Hit the buy button right here. Type in $80 worth of Bitcoin. We're going to queue that up. Hit next. That's ready to go. Ready for ignition. We're going to cut the music. Hit the drum roll, please. Buying $80 worth of Bitcoin right now on the Stack Bitcoin show because it's a quadruple stack. And there it is. Just like that, we purchased an additional 94,296 Satoshis. Dang, that's a good buy right there. Gee. That's like an extra 10,000 Satoshis from our usual buys. All right. Making waves, gaining on this. Let's go down here. Put in the purchase price. Man, we've been 84. Yeah. 84 0 4 3 8 9. Oops. 89 cents. We bought $80 worth of Bitcoin. The yield is 0.000942996 Bitcoin. All right. Just like that, slow and steady, our purchases. That's the lowest purchase we've had for the year. Highlight that. $84,043.86 Bitcoin. Amazing. We're going to take that data, bring it over here to the spreadsheet for the whole lifespan of the show. Right there. All right, drum roll, please. What did we get up to on the holdings for the whole show with that 94,000 Satoshis we just added? 0.3394583 Bitcoin. We are about to turn this 3 into a 4 and getting 1/100th of a Bitcoin closer to one whole Bitcoin. Let's go. Carlos Aramillo says like $1,000, $60 months is less than $20 per month, including interest. That's right. That's right. That's right. I recently got a HELOC loan to buy a whole coin in anticipation of this dip. Damn, you are styling, Satwise. Damn. Legendary status right there. When it doubles, I sell half a coin to pay it off and still have 0.5 left for free. Sheesh. That is what's up. That is what's up. Dang, son, that's awesome. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Damn, so good. I just finished paying off my truck too. Satwise, I think I'm gonna get I think I want to get a loan against it. Yep, use their dirty fiat against them. Exactly. Use their dirty fiat against them. It's wild. It's wild, but that is how it goes. Okay, so let's look at this poll. I'm gonna end the poll. You got out of the 300 participants, 66% believe that we're gonna go to 90K next, and 33% believe that we're gonna get 70K first. So it is what it is. I'm here for either. Either case. Like I said, unless Bitcoin drops down to like, I don't know, 20,000, 15,000. What? I was gonna buy more, right? And even if it drops down to 10,000 to 1,000, like it just drops down to 1,000. Yeah, right. Probably never happened. Anyway, the price goes up, we stack. Price goes down, we stack harder. Price goes sideways, we continue to stack. That's what it is, right? Stack or get stacked on. That's right. Stack or get dunked on. Hard facts don't get shaken out, fam. Exactly. I've been kind of like I follow the Reddit, the Bitcoin Reddit and the Bitcoin beginner Reddit. I'm in there all the time talking smack. Not necessarily bad. I'm just kind of like being like a toxic Bitcoiner light, I guess you could say. Toxic Bitcoiner light. People in there asking questions like there's a guy who was asking a question. He was like, "Oh, I'm a Bitcoin believer." That's how he started this post. I'm a Bitcoin believer. I have 10,000 in Bitcoin, and I think he said 60,000 or I think he says have 60,000 in crypto, 10,000 in Bitcoin, and like 50,000 in other shit coins, you know? and then he was also sitting no, it was 50,000 in crypto, 10,000 in Bitcoin, and 40,000 in altcoins, and he was sitting on 60,000 of cash too, or something like that, right? And I was like, and you titled your post Bitcoin believer. I was like, nah, dude, you're doing it wrong. I said you got 10% in Bitcoin, and you have 90% of your. So you have was it 10% in Bitcoin? Yeah, 10% in Bitcoin. You have like 40% of your portfolio in what I call it in grift coins. And you have the other 50% of your portfolio in melting ice cubes. I saw your Huddle Boy comic the other day there. Oh yeah. Carlos, I put it up and people reacted pretty well to it. So I was happy about that. He clearly hasn't studied Bitcoin long enough. Yeah. So, but anyway, at least he's in Bitcoin. At least he's in the process of. Oh man, that's a lot of money to put into alts, dude. That's a lot of alts, and also that's a lot of liquidity to be sitting on, I think too. But anyway, to each their own. At least he's out there trying to like learn, which is good. At least he's not holding 0 Bitcoin, right? At least he's got 0.1 Bitcoin. 0.1 Bitcoin is better than 0 Bitcoin, I guess. So, but is it his Bitcoin? I didn't even ask him. I should have added that to my post. I should have said, you have 10% of your portfolio in paper Bitcoin, 40% of your portfolio in grift coins, and the last 50% of your portfolio is sitting there on the side as melting ice cubes, losing value, getting debased as we speak. Crazy, right? All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. My name is Roman. I'll be here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.